Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. I'm attempting to record this differently. Had a suggestion in my comment about how to record with it being the right way. So let's hope this does that. I followed the individual's instructions. And I'm very grateful for them. So what we're going to do today is I want to make some more custom enemies. My campaign is not till Friday, but I have some ideas of some things I want to accomplish. So since you're kind of my captive audience, why don't you come with me? Let's make some stuff here. So what I want to make are essentially piles of nature that have stood up and they're angry. So I don't really have like an exact plan here, but I have a rough draft of what I want to do, kind of. And what I'm hoping to create are basically like rocks, stones, sticks, and it's all got to be like rotted, or not rotted, but non-living stuff. So you can't have like a live tree wouldn't stand up and do this. It would be like, you know, a what do you call it, a you know, something that's been rotten. So we just need some rocks to get started. We'll just make a little mess here. This is actually kind of fun and satisfying. Like, I don't really do a lot of this stuff anymore. The last video I did was the roper, and I did use foam because I just kind of come down here and make what I'm going to make. And I haven't even gone upstairs and posted the roper video yet. I'm still down here hanging out and just sitting in my shop. I was cleaning up a little bit of stuff, and then I found this bag of sticks that I had collected from the yard. And when I go out with the little boys or even by myself and clean up the yard, I just kind of take everything that I found and see what can be used. So I'm going to take those little pieces and throw them away because they're going to be really fragile. So these are going to be like the torsos of the creatures, I'm thinking. Oops. There we go. There's going to be 3 of them. That's why I have 3 bases out. This is something that they're going to encounter. Essentially a witch of some sort. I don't know if she's actually a witch, but some kind of evil creature in the wilderness is summoning beings to be her kind of like workers. So for the I don't even know how to do the heads. I think the heads will be a lot rock too. So let's get 3 kind of heads made. I want those to be a little flat on the back so they kind of stick to the, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Bring us down some. I want these to kind of stick flush to the chest piece. So I'm leaving the backs a little flat. Need one more head. Went and hung out with my dad last night. Had a really nice time. We played some guitar and had some adult beverages. So we get some heads there. All right. So I don't know what else we're going to need piece-wise for limbs and stuff. So we're going to start simple. Let's get these bases done up with some super glue and some baking soda. That's probably the best approach to get started. Oh. Yes, I have a day off today. It's been a while, I know. But I have a day off, so try to get a few videos in if I can. I know that on Halloween I only worked like 8 hours, so I was able to get a couple videos, but it's not been lately that I've been able to get too much more than, well, hell, some days I haven't even been able to get a video out because I only had an hour of wake time in the day that I wasn't at work or driving, so it's not ideal. Alright, so let's look at how we can do these bodies. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get something a little thicker, like that perhaps. Let's get some snippers. And kind of work those into the torso. So it's going to have a good, snug, sturdy fit. Where's that hole? There it is. And something like that. And we're going to need 3 of those. Now what's nice about building something like this with no real plan is you can give each of them like unique postures and make them all look kind of wonky and weird and different. And that's a nice thing to be able to do when you're trying to make stuff. Let's get something small for the neck. So for the neck, try to find the widest spot, I guess, and make that the front of the back. And I was going to have the necks be flush up into the body, but now that as I'm thinking about it a little better, I'm not going to do just that. I'm going to do something else. What I'm going to do is have the necks and the heads be a little, so they're like leaning forward some. So for the cod piece, we could just use styrofoam. But what I think I'd like to do is kind of make some sticky legs and arms. So for their legs, their arms, I'm going to use little pieces of let me get my other snippers. I'm going to cut this at kind of an angle there. Make that kind of like a sharpened kind of deal. Okay, I'm going to set that down to dry. We'll cut some arms out of the same piece. Now, see that like knot on there? I'm going to leave that and use that for kind of a shoulder. Then I'm going to make his forearms a little longer, so they're a little knuckle draggy. So for his shoulder, I'm just going to get a little glue here. And I'm going to kind of drag that around and mount that in such a way that it's going to be sturdy when it dries. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And his arms don't have to be in the exact same positions. Like one could be lower, one could be higher, you know, where they don't have like the same origins. And that'd be all right. I think that'll make him look a little interesting. I'm stuck. There we go. Yeah, something like this could work. So for feet, I'm just going to use some rock, or styrofoam I should say, and make it look a little bit like rock. Oh, oh, ow, ow, ow. I lost the end of it. Yeah, there it is. All right. Okay. I saw a contest on a YouTube channel that I wanted to join, and you had to be a Patreon member to join. I'm like, but I don't want to be a Patreon member. I don't watch your channel that much. I just like the one thing you're doing right now. Come on, dude. I would pay money to join a contest that I don't think I'm going to win just because I think it'll be fun. So if you guys want to have contests, I know I don't have a lot of people. If you guys want to have contests, we can do that. I might know a guy. So for his little hands, I'm going to do them a little different. I'm going to do one with just the foam, and I'm going to do the other one as like a little foam ball with some spikes coming out of it. I don't think I want to use those for the spikes. I think I'm going to use something else. Let me get some toothpicks. Gonna dance. So I'm just going to use the end of this as kind of like a generic measurer. I'm just going to make a little 3-section fingers. I could have just cut that off without measuring that. I'm just, like I said, using it as a generic measurement. You don't need to really, like I said, you don't need to really bend that last part because you're just going to cut it off. And I don't know why. This guy just had some twigs available to be his on this hand when he rose up out of the muck. I'll do one more of those real quick. I'm going to try to make this one a little bit longer. This is going to go in the middle. Something like that. Okay. Now, there's going to be some weak spots here. What I'm going to do is just drag my glue gun around and fill in some little gaps. And make some where the foam goes onto it a little sturdier. One, down. Sturdy up these joints on the elbows and knees. Let's get a little super glue on there. Do that to his crotch too. We'll get some baking soda. Pardon me. Big coughs. Alright, that's one. Now he's got a lot of spider webs. And unfortunately we can't use the +2 hot air gun of burning on him too much because of the glue. Well, you know what? I'm not sure how this is going to work. I have a suspicion this is going to melt the foam pretty bad, but let's try it. Alright, let's see if we can't sturdy this up a little bit. You know what? I don't see any visible melting going on. Though I'm not letting it sit there for very long either. Much sturdier. I'm going to set him in front of the fan. Let's start on our next little guy. Well, that's interesting to know that we can make things work with the super glue on this, because I was worried that wasn't going to be an option. We could probably move a little faster now that we know what we're doing here. Oops, stuck to me. Remember, these are good shoulders. These parts of the knots. I'm going to make his arms a little longer on this one. I'm going to make his legs stubby as hell. Oops. Okay, so legs. Super stub. Okay. Nice. We're going to snip that off a little bit. Nice. Crap. All right. So for legs, we're doing the same thing, just making little rocks. Oh. Okay, there it is. That's where it melts right there. If you let it sit too long, the melting begins. Oops. Let's do a little experiment. See, look at that coming apart right there. Maybe it's because I strengthened those up last time. Maybe not. I don't know. Definitely not as sturdy as it was before. Oh, that glue's leaking all over me. Oh, that's because there's styrofoam melting to my hand. Okay, guys, so that does melt, the styrofoam. It was just that little bit of super glue or hot glue that I had put there that made it sturdy. Let me just pull this off my hand because it kind of hurts. It's like burning me a little bit. It's hard. Okay. And our last one. That one didn't have any hands, I just remembered. Oh well. Now for this one, I think I'd like to try to do something interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one of his arms have a weird big like club end. Where's that thin piece I was using for necks? Okay. Up. There we go. All right, where's that piece I was using for legs and arms? There it is. So we'll make a shoulder, make some legs. Okay, so for this one's cod piece, I think I would like to try to put some rock there. That won't be sturdy. We already know that. Never mind. Okay. It's a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be. Let's take this piece for the shoulder. Snip it down a little shorter. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now we want this guy to have some different postured arms and stuff than the other ones. We don't want them to be identical. We don't want them all to be the same, is what I'm saying. So I'm just going to try to make him a little varied. You know what? I'm not real happy with the way those other feet turned out. So I'm going to try something different on this fella. I wonder if baking soda makes that hot glue dry instantly. No. No, it does not. It actually just makes some hideousness. Okay. All right, let's start working on our sturdying up process, and then we'll come back on all three of them and add some details. So for the sturdying up process, we're just going to get glue. Okay, lying in the dark, farting a lot, sturdy-ish. Okay. All right, starting with number one. Let's do it. So here's the problem. We have fuzz, and we have to be careful not to melt our tinfoil, or our, what do you call it, foam, right? So if there's any fuzz right up on the foam that you're worried about, leave it. Just leave it. Okay? Number 2. Now this one had no hands, and I wasn't real happy about that. So we're going to add something to him. I don't know if you know why I'm putting these in front of the fan, but that's just to make sure everything's cool, so when I hit with the, you know, the lighter, nothing's like still hot and wet and not dry. And this one didn't have a lot of time in front of the fan, so a little bit of his glue might not be all the way situated. Okay. So we want to add some embellishments to pro ball these a little bit, right? So one of the easy things we could do would be to take something like a knot like this, and maybe add it to a shoulder. You want to kind of add it at like a little bit of a silly angle, maybe. Pardon me. And we want to strengthen it up with a little bit of stupid glue. I'm out of stupid glue. Well, that's not possible. Of course I'm not out of stupid glue. Boop. That's sturdy and good. That arm has a little bit of flex to it, but I think it's going to be just going to need a touch up. All right, good. What other embellishments can you put on there? Well, you can put a couple eyes on there, I suppose. Where's my little thing of eyes? I don't know. You might know them as rivets. I call them eyes sometimes, and rivets sometimes. I can't find them, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt two eyes into this guy with my glue gun. And this guy didn't have hands. I didn't love that. So what I think I want to do is I want to get this like vine curl here. And that's just a little piece of curly vine. I have another one here. Then I'm going to take that vine, I do need to sturdy this up because it's pretty flimsy, and when we go to paint it, I'm afraid it's going to snap. Okay. Much better. Probably going to need to strengthen up these hands too. And we need eyes. Oops. My head just popped off. We're going to leave them like that. They're not going to be perfect. They're strange constructs. I want this one to have kind of a eyebrow piece. Yeah, I want them to all to have kind of a mouth, I think. Okay. And this one doesn't have a mouth yet. All right. So check this out. Between now and next time I see you guys and we do a part 2 of this, it's already 42 minutes and we got to stop. We can't have these videos going too long because I lose attention and I start rushing too much and you guys don't watch them all. So gotta call it. But here's the deal. If you like what I'm doing, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment. Join our Discord. Show us what you're working on. Show us if you're making stuff like this too. I'm sure some of you are. I'd love to see your work. I've already had people come on and share, and it's amazing. I've had talented artists from all different walks of creation come. I've had people come and show us their paintings and their drawings and their weapons. Yeah, weapons. There's a dude making weapons and shields and pipes and shit. So, I mean, you know, painting miniatures, you name it. Come show us what you're working on. If you're making these projects, we'd like to see how they're coming out for you. And if you're doing a better job than we are, or a worse job, or whatever it may be, we're interested. So come do that. And when I come back, these guys will be painted with a Mod Podge mix of whatever random colors I get in this bin with some Mod Podge. And that'll sturdy them up and that'll make them, you know, so we can work with them. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.